Welcome to this video. I'm Jeff McQuillan coming to you from beautiful Los Angeles, California, and ESLPOD.com. Most Americans know about a historical figure from the 19th century called P.T. Barnum. Americans associate P.T. Barnum with his business, which was creating performance shows, circuses, places where people could go and watch animals do fancy tricks, where you could see a man swallow a sword, or a woman who could juggle fire. These were circuses, and circuses were and still are popular in the United States. P.T. Barnum, however, was what we would call a showman. A showman is the person who is in charge of organizing and leading these circuses, these performances. Now, one of the things that P.T. Barnum is famous for is a quote, although we're not actually sure if he said this, but the quote that everyone knows in the United States that was supposedly spoken by P.T. Barnum is, "There's a sucker born every minute." A sucker, in this case, is someone who is a fool, someone who isn't very smart. In particular, someone who spends money unwisely, someone who thinks that they're buying one thing perhaps, but in fact are buying something else. Now, the reason this is interesting in terms of P.T. Barnum is because that P.T. Barnum went around the United States with these apparently magical things happening in his circus, many of which were probably made up, or almost certainly were made up. That is, it looked like one thing was happening, but something else was happening. And of course, he was getting money from people who were coming to his circuses. People will use this expression when they are talking about someone who gives their money away or spends their money in a way that's unwise, or that is because they have been deceived, they have been tricked. Someone has lied to them. So if your friend buys a car for $20,000 and you know it's only worth $2,000, you might say, well, there's a sucker born every minute, meaning this person has been tricked, this person has been deceived. Another word of describing a sucker is someone who is gullible. A gullible person believes whatever you tell him or her. A gullible person will be someone who will hear something or read something and not think very carefully about whether it's true or not, and will end up believing it. For example, before I got married, you may not know this, I dated some of the hottest, sexiest supermodels in the world. Seriously. Now, if you believe that, you're being a little gullible. You should know that this face did not go out with 5 supermodels. Some people are gullible because they are naive. Naive is a person who doesn't have a lot of experience in the world. Maybe because they're younger, or maybe because they have been sheltered. To be sheltered means, in this case, that you haven't gone out into the world very much. You haven't traveled very much. You haven't worked with different people or been friends with different kinds of people. That person might be described as sheltered, especially if their family has prevented them from going out and having those sorts of experiences. So a sheltered person is often naive about the world. They don't understand the world. They don't have the experiences. And because of that, they don't realize that many people are not honest, and therefore they are gullible. They are more likely to be suckered, tricked, or deceived, fooled. What's the opposite of someone who is gullible or naive? Someone who is a sucker? Well, that would be someone who is clever, someone who is intelligent. Notice that sucker is a noun, but we also use that word as a verb most commonly and informally to mean someone who isn't very good at something. If you say, oh, I suck at this, or I suck at playing tennis, you mean you're not very good at it. But it's a very informal expression, so be careful about using that. It has a vulgar meaning, which we won't talk about here. You can Google it. If you want to improve your English in the fastest possible way, take a look at our website at eslpod.com and our unlimited English membership. If you like this video, please like it, share it, and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/eslpod or on Twitter at eslpod. From beautiful Los Angeles, California, I am Jeff McQuillan. Thanks for watching.